All right, let me bring up your first comic of the night. Very funny man, Maxwell Solway. Everybody.
Where am I? I really am. It's like, I feel like there's something that the host is not telling us. Like after the show, we're supposed to drink the Kool-Aid. I feel like I'm in a cult. You know, everyone's walking around with no shoes on. And I'm horny and hot at the same time. Because I mean, I'm sweating like a Catholic priest at Toys R Us right now. So I got a foot fetish too, so when I see, especially her up there in the back, and you look like you're cute enough. No, Ashley, you're cute enough to cure my depression. She's dangling her toes, too, stretching her toes out. Like what? I'm like building that fantasy in my head. It's like one little piggy went to the market, the other four went in my mouth. Ashley, it's like. It's weird. I was like, I've never done yoga because I got extreme scoliosis, you know. I'm the only Jew that refused to pick up change on the ground because it hurts my back. I got the posture of like a large prawn, you know. I'm all around like a capital C. I'm really tired of being patronized by the general public. You know, anyone that has to work with the public, aren't you tired of people coming up to you and remind you about how terrible your job is? You know, I do a job where I do cleaning and safety for downtown Cincinnati, which in other words, I have a 7-degree black belt in push broom. I'm like a 7-degree janitor, basically. And I was working outside and I was cleaning the curb line. And I had a fat woman come up to me during a rainstorm and say, "You should have a mop." So I looked at this lady straight in her face and I said, "You should have a salad." Get away from me. This lady was fat too. If Charles Dickens wrote the sequel to Tale of Two Cities, it would be called The Tale of Two Titties. Not this lady, she was just gargantuan. Like she looked like she should spend 2 seasons on The Biggest Loser. That's how bad. I'm like, get away from me. And then the same day, I have another person come up to me, so nonchalant, so casual, almost like he was asking for the time. The guy comes up to me and says, "Sir, I just want to know, do you smoke meth?" I'm like, "No, sir, I don't smoke meth." And his response just boggled my mind. He said, "Well, sir, you don't have any life experience. Good day, sir." And I was insulted, but I couldn't figure out why. Maybe because he just marginalized so many years of my life, you know, to one hit of meth, you know, one snort of meth. I hated it, you know. Of course, downtown people, it's his own culture, it really is. You know, I had a guy come up to me, he's like, "Are you guys hiring?" I'm like, "No, but we're always shredding applications, sir." I'm like, "You guys accept felonies?" It's like, no place accepts felonies, you know. You gotta start at the pickle factory, move yourself up before you can get a job that accepts felonies. We gladly reject felonies. That's what my job does. In downtown Cincinnati, I grew up, I'm a native Cincinnatian. I lived in Los Angeles for a couple of years, in Dallas. I've been bi-coastal for the last 5-6 years. But I grew up here, and downtown was not a place you wanted to be a few years ago. You know, now they have gentrification. And for those who don't know what gentrification is, it's kind of like political correctness imperialism. That's what it is. What they do is, you know, they put like a coffee shop in the middle of adverse poverty. That's what gentrification really is. You go down on Vine Street, that's exactly what it is. You hear all these conversations with people like, "You know, this used to be a crack corner, did you know that? How's that low-fat mocha? Is that really good? That's really good." Or they go, sooner or later, they're going to put tanning salons down on Vine Street. I can see, because that's like the new thing. Like, I got to have dark skin. You know, like every girl I hear that's between the ages of 18 to 27, that's a daily routine for them. Like, I got to go tan. I'm going tanning. After I go tanning, I'm going to the pool party to go tanning some more. I can't wait till I go on vacation. I'm going to go tanning. And then I'm going to the beach party, and then I'm going to drink shots, and shots. That's every girl's favorite song, is that shot. If that's your favorite song, you're pretty much a whore. You got whore-like symptoms to me. I'm into superhero movies. I really love, I grew up on comic books. You know, I was a big X-Men fan, Batman, Spider-Man as a kid. I was just one of those nerds that would carry around a crayon box full of quarters, and I'm going to go up to Queen City Comics like every Friday and buy a new comic book. And I like to watch a lot of these movies, but you know what I realized is that what if our favorite superheroes were unattractive? Would we care if they had superpowers at all? Like imagine if like Clark Kent just happened to have like a cleft palate. No one would give a shit if he could fly. They would be like, it's a bird, it's a plane. That's a birth defect. What's wrong with you? And Peter Parker, he's worked for that newspaper for so many years, he's never got a raise. He gets the best photos of Spider-Man, because he is Spider-Man, and he hasn't even moved up. You know, that just gives you, that says volumes about how much photographers really get paid, you know. They don't make anything. He still lives at his aunt's house in Manhattan, you know. At the very least, he could have an efficiency apartment by now. And that's the thing, like, attractive people have a lot more to say. Because you look, Martin Luther King, handsome man. Princess Diana, beautiful woman. Malcolm, beautiful man. Barack, you know, but somehow Stephen Hawking doesn't get the same credibility, you know, and he's the smartest man in the world. You know? So that means if you're like in a wheelchair like this, and you push a button like tick, 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 no one cares about what you have to say at all. That's just society. You know? I sit out like a green hat with an orange bill because I'm Jewish, but I live in poverty. You know, I live in emotional poverty. I'm basically like a black guy with good credit. That's basically what I'm kind of like. You know, I live downtown Cincinnati. It's weird, you know. A lot of people sell heroin. Heroin is like the big drug of choice right now. And you know, if I sold drugs, I would be discreet about it. These guys are out in the open. But if a guy's yelling out, "Oh, who wants dog food at 3 in the morning?" We know that's a slang term for heroin. Because I can't imagine someone going to like Myers at 3 in the morning to get puppy chow. You know, seriously. I'm a single guy, as you can tell. You know. However, you're sexy enough to cure my self-esteem. Like I went from right here to right here. You know. And I watch a lot of porno. I really do. Anyone like to watch bondage porno? I like seeing people tied up. It just reminds me of the old Western movies when somebody's on the train track. Like you got 10 seconds to come and you're getting. Has anyone else done this before? Anyone watched a bondage movie and a part of you runs out of your apartment and feels like you have to save that woman? It's like, hold on, I'll help you out of those bungee cords while there's 2 guys that's just like the gift from Pulp Fiction rail you. I'm at this point too, I watch so much porno, I don't even watch it for the sex anymore. I watch it for interior design ideas. It's like, man, that's a really nice coffee table. Is that from the IKEA catalog? That's really nice. He was like, don't bang her on that. Put her on the Corinthian leather. It whites off easier, it's just shiny. I get mad when there's like an ejaculation on like an Egyptian tapestry. Because I don't know, I used to work for a carpet cleaning company. It's really hard to get semen out of a rug. It really is. That's my time, guys. But thank you so much for coming out. Have a great night.
We're going for Maxwell, everybody. And is everybody okay after that? Max is going to leave the building and tie up some people and put them on train tracks.